Team B Productions and Tom Horton proudly present this radio drama entitled
A Slice of Murder.
A sweet helping of nonsense to entertain you all at this time of national crisis. Our story unfolds in the quintessential hamlet of Piddling-on-the-Marsh, where the residents have gathered for the annual village fete, a traditional affair where welly boots are thrown, faces are painted, and where crocodiles eat sausages. Amongst all the frivolity, the more prestigious matter of prized vegetables, flowers and cakes is celebrated with the presentation of certificates and trophies to those who have grown, blossomed and baked beyond expectation. The event, as always, is overseen and judged by the Reverend Tinkle, who after an afternoon of mingling is busily attending to inspecting turnips, tulips and turnovers in the Grand Marquis.
I must say, Wally, I've never seen such an impressive one. What is your secret, pray tell, in growing marrows?
Well, you see, Vicar, my neighbour has a couple of donkeys and he surprised me with a nice drop of donkey droppings to help my vegetables on their way.
A most splendid effort, if I may say so.
Well, you most certainly may, Vicar, and it goes without saying that, should I win, I'll be donating my winnings to the church organ appeal.
Well, you are most kind, Wally. You know, my organ is in urgent need of attention, and all contributions are warmly received.
As Reverend Tinkle moves on to the display of flowers and plants, 3 local residents are huddled in the corner of the marquee, discussing the afternoon's events.
And I said to my Bert, if you think you can do better, you could do it yourself next time.
Oh, Mavis. Well, has he ever made a spotted dick before?
Of course he hasn't, Penny, and nor will he if it involves him putting his crossword down and leaving his chair.
I can't remember the last time I had a spotted dick.
I expect Marjorie Clutterbuck will win the cake competition again, just like she does every year.
I wouldn't be so sure, Lavender. I'm not one to gossip, but I've heard she's got a new oven and has been having terrible trouble with her Battenberg. Plus, you never got this from me, but I've been told that Granny Grimmer was seen leaving the rectory with a Tupperware container covered with a tea towel.
You don't think she's been canvassing the vicar for votes, do you?
My lips are sealed. But all I say is that I know the Reverend Tinkle is partial to a cream horn at the weekend.
Well, I never.
Mother's Day.
What about Mother's Day, Penny?
That's the last time I had spotted dick.
Meanwhile, Father Tinkle is admiring P.C. Horace Ward's hanging baskets on the other side of the marquee.
Horace, I simply do not know how you do it. I can never get mine to stand up so proud, especially in the shade.
It's all in the way you handle 'em, Father Tinkle. I like to sing to 'em when I water 'em, and my wife, well, she likes to recite poetry whilst beheading 'em.
Well, your shafts are certainly the sturdiest I've seen in a long while.
Thank you, Vicar. And it goes without saying that should I be lucky enough to win today, I'll be only too happy to supply the displays for the church choir concert in September.
I'm sure flowers would certainly add both colour and scent to our fundraising endeavours, Horace. I will bear in mind your kind gesture.
As the vicar continues to admire Horace's blooms, tension is mounting as the highlight of the afternoon approaches, the judging of the best cake competition. And finishing her victorious sponge with a generous dusting of cinnamon icing sugar, Marjorie Clutterbuck hopes to scoop the top prize for the 6th year.
I am so nervous, Porky. I hardly slept a wink last night worrying about my buttercream filling.
Porky Cracknell, the butcher's wife, watches on and is not remotely concerned about Marjorie's sponge as the flies buzz above her spicy sausage rolls.
My pastry's starting to crack. It's too hot in the marquee.
I wouldn't worry too much, my dear. The vicar isn't a big fan of sausage rolls. He prefers cheese straws.
Well, Mavis Clark said he loves a warm sausage roll with his Horlicks before bed.
And she'd know, wouldn't she? That woman does not miss a thing. She is the biggest gossip I know.
Listening carefully, Granny Grimmer is confident that Father Tinkle won't be able to resist her Bakewell slice.
I have always said that a Victoria sponge is overrated, and dare I say, blandly heavy. Oh, especially when served with a cup of tea.
I do hope you're not referring to my masterpiece. I'll have you know the butter and the cream used in my filling is from Waitrose. And you're forgetting that I've won for the past 5 years.
Let's just say that I know something you don't know.
And what is that supposed to mean? Have you been round the vicar's factory?
Oh, the pastry's definitely cracking.
Will you please stop fussing over your sausage rolls, Porky? Reverend Tinkle's coming this way.
An air of suspense falls over the cake counter as Reverend Tinkle observes the various offerings.
Well, ladies, unfortunately, I won't be partaking. But well done, Mrs. Cracknell. I do so enjoy a warm sausage roll with my Horlicks before bed. But such a shame that the pastry is falling apart.
It's the heat, Vicar.
And dear Mrs. Grimmer, your Bakewell slice looks, well, suitably moist and to die for. Oh, if you don't mind, though, I can never resist the cherry on the top.
Help yourself, Vicar. I made the jam myself.
Oh, and my dear Victoria, is it me or do I smell a hint of cinnamon coming from your outstanding creation?
There's no fooling you, is there, Reverend? I do hope everyone enjoyed my efforts at your garden party last year after I'd won for the 5th year. I always like to support those who support me, you understand?
Well, I do not know how you do it every year. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must prepare for the prize giving.
As the Reverend Tinkle makes his way to the stage to announce this year's winners, Mavis Clark and Lavender Basket are watching the events unfold.
Well, I say Crafty Clutterbuck's got it in the bag again this year. I do hope everyone enjoyed my efforts at your garden party last year. What a creep.
I feel sorry for poor old Porky. She spent weeks perfecting her pastry.
And she did. They were perfectly poor.
I thought you said Granny Grimmer was going to upset the apple cart this year.
Who's to say she won't? There's plenty of time. Oh, shh. She's coming this way.
Ah, Marvis, I'm glad I've seen you. Thank you for loaning me a cherry for my Bakewell slice. They didn't have any in the village shop. The vicar was very impressed.
Oh, you're very welcome. I just hope it does the trick.
So do I, Marvis.
Oh, I think they're about to announce the winners.
And so as everyone makes their way to the stage, Reverend Tinkle steps up with envelopes in hand.
1, 2, 1, 2. Can you all hear me? What a wonderful afternoon that we're all having. The weather has been once again kind, and I'd like to think that I lend a helping hand in that department. It's not what you know and all that. Anyway, on with the important business of the day, the competition results, with prizes of tickets to see Team B's fabulous family pantomime, Jack and the Beanstalk, appearing at Leiston Film Theatre in January.
And so the various trophies are distributed. Lady Hadfield for the most creative candle, Horace Ward for the best flowers, and Wally Young for the most impressive vegetables.
And now it is my great pleasure to announce the winner of the best cake competition.
The envelope is torn, a card is removed, and as Reverend Tinkle goes to speak, the sun disappears into a random cloud.
And the winner is... The winner is... The winner...
Suddenly, and quite dramatically, Reverend Tinkle falls to the ground. The crowd look on.
Well, I know he likes to be dramatic, but I wish he'd get on with it.
I can't remember him doing this last year.
Dropping his prize-winning cucumber, Wally Young races to the stage and after a few brief moments declares...
The vicar! He's dead!
Slice of Murder will return in a moment. But now, a word from our sponsor. Is the view from your room less than inspiring? Are you bored of seeing bins, fed up of staring at the fence and uninspired by the neighbour's underwear? You need Viva View, where you are in charge of your window worries. Turn Hellsworth into Hawaii, Saxmundham into the Seychelles, or Leiston into Lanzarote. Our revolutionary system instantly transforms the view from your veranda, taking you to a different location at the flick of a switch. For a brochure or to arrange a free, no-obligation demonstration, call our team. Viva View, bringing the Vavavoom into your room.
Dead?
Did I win the competition? Can somebody check?
As the crowd turn and glare at Marjorie Clutterbuck, Horace Ward, who aside from being a dab hand with a pair of secateurs, is also the village police officer and calmly makes his way to the stage.
Nobody touch anything, please, especially the vicar.
From what I've been told, he hasn't been touched for years.
Mavis!
I need everyone to remain where you are, please, whilst I make some inquiries.
In the coming minutes, as PC Ward makes his initial inquiries, it transpires that Reverend Tinkle has indeed been poisoned. And he suspects foul play within the Grand Marquis.
Do we have any idea of what refreshments the vicar had sampled during the afternoon?
I saw him in the WI-10 earlier, talking to Colonel Ginger.
Thank you, Penny. That was most helpful. Does anyone know where Colonel Ginger is now?
He left shortly after, as he had some railway business to attend to.
Yes, he's obsessed with that railway thingy.
Did anyone see the vicar eat or drink anything else?
Well, I saw him having an ice cream while he was watching the Punch and Judy show.
Excellent. Thank you, Harley. Anyone else? Mavis?
I haven't hardly noticed anything at all afternoon, Horace.
Did he eat any of the cakes when he was judging the competition?
He wouldn't try my sausage rolls because they were falling apart.
Thank you, Mrs. Cragnell. What about you, Marjorie?
He was very complimentary on the aroma of my cinnamon topping, but didn't try any.
Well, this is most bizarre. If the WIT-10 and Softy Scoops ice cream were to blame, he'd have been dead long before. Are you positive he didn't sample anything from the cake canner?
What about your Bakewell slice, Mrs. Grimmer?
No, he didn't have any of that either. Wait. Yes, he did. He pinched the cherry off the top.
Then in that case, I can only presume that Reverend Tinkle was purposely poisoned by old Glacier Cherry. And you, Mrs. Grimmer, well, you'll accompany me to the station for further questioning. Now, do you have another Bakewell slice I can use as evidence?
No, Horace. I only brought the one.
How convenient. If you ask me, this was a deliberate attempt to stop me from winning a game.
How dare you, Marjorie!
Then why did you only make one Bakewell slice? I made a whole batch of my spicy sausage rolls.
I had every intention of making more, but I couldn't get any cherries from the shop and wouldn't have even entered the competition if...
Yes?
Marvis Clark hadn't given me the cherry.
The Grand Marquis is filled with a gasp as the crowd realise Mavis Clark is nowhere to be seen.
Has anyone seen Mavis?
There she is, Horace. She's over there.
Quick! She's getting away!
PC Ward exits the marquee and canters across the large field, but Mavis Clark is almost at the entrance.
Stop, in the name of the law!
Mavis gathers her pace, and as she gazes back, she inadvertently trips on the guide rope for the Punch and Judy show, bringing the stripy tent down on top of her and becoming entangled in Union Jack bunting. Eventually, arriving on the scene, Horace Ward brings Mavis to her feet.
Mavis Clark, I'm arresting you for the murder of Reverend Tinkle. You do not have to say anything.
Yes, I do. That ruddy vicar got exactly what he deserved. Every year he swanks about the fate like a celebrity, grabbing as much free stuff as he can. Candles for the church, flowers for the festival, and cakes for his garden party last year. He helped himself to my draw prize, a festive candle bridge decoration, which he then placed in his window at Christmas. And when I asked him about it, he said he'd wondered at a fate, and for him it was the cherry on the top. So I decided if he wanted a cherry on top, I'll give him one, and so I did, laced with rat poison.
As the backup arrives, Mavis Clark is taken into custody, and PC Ward returns to cover Reverend Tinkle's body with a banner advertising Team B's forthcoming pantomime.
Thank you, everyone. You can take yourselves home now.
I can't go home yet. I didn't find out if my Victoria sponge was the best cake.
Horace returns to the stage and returns with the relevant piece of paper.
I can reveal the winner of the best cake is...
You've been listening to A Slice of Murder, a lockdown creation from Team B Productions and Tom Horton, written by Wayne Burns with music, sound effects and editing by Tom Horton, and featuring the enormous vocal talent of Wayne Burns, Tom Horton, Toby Young, Mandy Basket, Marie Clark, Lauren Major, Marcus Ward, Natasha Cracknell, Grace Clutterbuck and Rochelle Grimmer. Team B will return with their fabulous family pantomime, Jack and the Beanstalk, at the splendid Leyston Film Theatre in January 2021. Full details and bookings are now available at www.leystonfilmtheatre.co.uk.